welcome back to Words with Wayman. I'm your host, as always, Matt Wayman. Thank you for joining us. We are back with a part 2 with St. Louis comedian Ben Johnson. That's you.
That's me.
You're that person.
I could be anybody.
You could. Nobody would know.
Will there be a picture accompaniment along with this podcast?
No, but if you want there to be, I'll put a picture of you up there.
Could we take a picture together?
Yes, we should. We should put that selfie up on the interweb so people can know.
Oh, we'll use your shoulder camera mount.
Yeah. That'd be cool if we could figure out some way to rig that up. We left off, we were talking about the first, at the end of the first episode, we were talking about kind of like you doing the comedies, getting into the comedy, coming from the big city of Arnold into the bigger city of St. Louis and finding the microphone. That's as quick of a recap as I think I could think of. Where do you find that you write your jokes? Like, do you sit down every day and bang them out, or you let them come to you?
More of a let them come to you. I've done both, and I still try to write consistently. I have my own little schedule that I adhere to.
Daily or like weekly schedule? It's
like weekly. I'm like certain days off. I find I have better success on days off. Other than that, I am still just brainstorming, trying to come up with bit ideas.
Yeah.
That'll maybe I'll take time to write on whenever I'm on those days, or if I have like certain special shows that I have to maybe prepare stuff for.
New jokes. Do you find it usually comes to you as like a complete joke and then you say it right away, or more like you write it down and then kind of work on it for a little bit?
I've done both.
Yeah.
For my A material, I'd say. Gives a different feel to the bit.
It is nice sometimes when a fully formed joke comes out and you're like, okay, this is...
Yeah. We take credit for... You don't even... What is thinking? It's all unconscious. All you can do is like put yourself in certain positions and point your head in certain directions.
Yeah, and sometimes they're like, oh my God, that's just so blatant that has anybody else thought of it?
And then I always think somebody else has thought of it. I like for this podcast that there's no table between us.
There's no table. There's no physical barrier.
Crossing our legs at the knee.
Like a couple of sassy ladies getting tea together.
A couple, I was going to say old-timey Englishmen, but sassy ladies.
Englishmen.
Purple hat ladies.
Purple hat ladies.
Have you heard of the purple hat?
I have had to wait on a lot of the purple hat ladies in my restaurant job.
Oh, I bet you would too.
They're sweet peas.
Are they?
Sure.
All the time?
Oh, that hat comes with a lot of sass.
Do they have
There's a lot going on there. Bless their heart, everybody. Shout out to the Purple Lady Club.
Shout out to the Purple Lady Club.
If we could get that listenership, that'd be pretty sweet.
If we could get that sponsor.
Right? Purple Lady. They sponsor. They just send us cookies and
like an
all sorts of breads.
Situation?
Yeah.
Or not a VFW.
I'm sure there was some sort of war against, there was a fight and they won, and now we gotta go out and tip people bad for it.
Yeah. Oh
no! I'm kidding. No, I saw an opportunity and I took it. That not happened.
Talking about sass.
The sassy server is me. That is me. I don't care if you think I'm a good server. I just want you to think I'm thin. And I always say best 65% service you've ever gotten in your life.
Are your parents super thin?
They're
you look genetically thin.
My dad's, it's from my mom's side of the family.
Do you eat healthy? Your dad's from your mom's side of the family?
Is that what I said?
I don't know. It kind of sounded like
the height is from my mom's side of my family, and my dad and mom are brother and sister. So there's that. It just sneaks out.
The width and the breadth. We both took a drink at the same time. We're
sipping together. There's no table in between us. This pod ship, we'll go with that. This pod ship is about bonding.
We've come into sync.
We're about to dock at Funtime Station.
Is that docking?
Guys, we took acid about 10 minutes ago, and it's working really quick. Now we're excited. What do I got? I guess we should just get to questions. That's what we're here about.
Oh, do we have a caller?
We do. It is Bubba. He's back. He has called back upon us. How much material would you say that you have currently, like as in the bag?
Material in the bag. I think I've done a good 30.
Nice.
I might have more than that, but I always find myself overshooting.
Yeah, if they're hot, I got 45.
Yeah,
if they're cold, I got maybe 20.
Plus minus.
Yeah, it is a big difference to be like, how much time do you actually have? Like 45 to a crowd that's not into it is like an hour and a half of material.
Yeah.
Plain to see, that's leaving me. Now I know, cause my heart is working so. And I'm working to win back your love. And I'm crying, cause the love's not as thick as my blood.
What's your dream as a comedian? Like, what do you want to do in your career?
It'd just be cool to do this as a living at all, I think. To just be able to do this and get by, which I know sounds like setting the bar so low.
What do you mean? Like, do you just doing stand-up, or like do you...
Just being... I'm not going to cut it off at just stand-up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to say just being funny
Mm-hmm.
for using that ability and skill set that we've garnered from doing this.
Yeah.
And applying it and just using that as income.
Yeah.
Would be totes dope.
I think that's totally a huge, good goal, because that is what we kind of get into this for, and it's unattainable for so many people, and we do it for years and years and years without getting too much money for it. You just want it to somewhat pay off.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of guys are like, I don't see why you wouldn't start doing this if you wouldn't be the best. Like a Navy SEAL or something like that.
Oh, if you don't want to be the best comedian of all time?
Yeah, yeah. And I'm like, I feel like I'm not having too low of aspirations by just saying it'd be cool to just be able to get by doing this. I don't think I'm committing any sort of treason where somebody would try to yell me out of comedy for just mentioning such a thing.
I mean, even that that what you want is good. A lot of people get into this and have no clue what they want out of it.
Yeah, that's true. that's most things in life.
Bouncing around, as long as you know what you kind of want out of this business. I think that's the goal of a lot of comedians these days. Is
I'd
to
like
just
to
be able
get
make
a lot
some
of
cash.
local commercial spots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you with an agency?
No.
You got a good face. You can get with an agency.
I got a face for podcasts.
Huh?
Hey.
People tell me that all the time. I walk down the street and people go, "Please go inside. You've got a face for podcasts." And then that's how I started this one. No, local commercial. I know
places by alleyway.
Yeah.
Can you set your Google Maps for just the alleyway walking route?
I want to meet the people. I want to meet the alley people.
The real grassroots.
That's my crowd these days. That's my niche audience is alleys. I play a lot of alleys.
I'm all Arby's.
I'm all Arby's alleys.
Just Arby's.
I do an open mic in the Arby's bathroom.
Down to the Arby's open mic.
It's a terrible show, but everybody gets a free sandwich at the end. So how can you lose?
All the leftover ham and cheddars.
Oh God, it comes out of a bag. It's so scary. Arby's, shout out. If you guys want to sponsor this podcast, please let us know.
Big shout out to Arby's.
Send us a box of roast beef. We'll take that as sponsorship. You don't even have to put your name on the return address. That's all we need. We run off meat around here.
Is Arby short for something? Is Arby a name?
Tom Arby?
Tom Arby?
Tom Arby's place?
Is it?
I'm sure at some point.
You're guessing it. Okay,
Yeah.
I thought you had some. You didn't know about Arby's.
You did get excited though. Like if I had the history of Arby's up there.
That is a good trick to just make it a last name all the time.
The history. This is
my name's Dan Wendy's.
Yeah. A lot of people call me Dan the Man. A lot of people call me Wendy. So I'm a fan of Wendy's. Speaking of fast food, what is your favorite of all time fast food restaurants?
Oh, now we're getting to the meat and potatoes of not just the podcast.
No, but we could be getting to the meat and potatoes if your favorite place is O'Charlie's or something like that.
I've never been a fan. Well, I've only went to O'Charlie's.
It's not the best.
Once. O'Charlie's, if you want to sponsor this, I'm sorry.
Sorry. No, we don't take Bennigan's sponsorship, or we don't take O'Charlie sponsorship. That's the only two places.
But we do take Qdoba rewards card.
Oh my God, that'd be great. That'd be unbelievable.
I do like Qdoba or Chipotle.
Either one. I'm good.
Okay. There's not a Chipotle as close to mine.
Yeah, I think it's a proximity thing between those two, solely. You get some tags.
So we don't know if Arby is short for anything.
Probably not. I wouldn't think so.
Why not?
Now I know that's left me cold. High and dry, look for my nights, and I'm ticking so much that I can't sleep. And I'm crying ever since the day you left me.
What's the biggest number of people that you performed to in your career thus far? Which is, how long have you been doing stand-up? Is it good?
Coming up on 5.
5, nice. Type 5?
Tight 5.
5 years in the game.
We're coming up on 5 people that I've performed for.
5 people. It was one time 6 years ago.
It didn't spread out. No, I think we're in like 300s.
Nice.
Probably opening for somebody at the Funny Bone, or maybe one of my worst, I don't know, experiences.
Mm-hmm.
It toughened me up. Was performing for this in this like club in North St. Louis, where I was told that it was an open mic, but it's not a standard open mic. There's a talent competition in the front half, and then there's a professional portion in the back half where you can just go up and perform for 20 minutes if you know the guy.
Yeah.
I was just going up thinking it was an open mic. I signed up for the talent competition. Went up first, where I was just handed the microphone, and then the host walked like 5 steps to my left and just kind of watched me do material, and then there was like a DJ behind me.
Oh.
And I didn't know it was also Apollo style, where I got one punchline out of my mouth. It got like kind of a laugh, and then I just, all my momentum just completely just like air out of the room. And then they just boo started in the back of the room, and then soon the whole place was just booing, and then I got,
Well, I've never had like a full-on boo off stage type scenario. I've had the silence where you're just blowing it super hard. That's probably good to just,
I heard Ryan Stout, a very funny comedian, say before that he thinks all comics should start in front of black audiences.
Yeah.
Because they don't really take, I don't know if I want to call it taking shit, or they just kind of speak their mind. It's I think it toughens you up, and it's kind of on that you should be prepared for anything. And I think
and if you can get booed off stage, to be completely honest, you can do anything else the entire thing. I mean, there's probably something good to be said about actually getting booed off stage, because after that it can never be as bad as that time where you physically got booed off stage. So how can you be scared of it after that? I mean, the worst thing that could ever happen happens, and you're still alive. But I'm sure it would probably put me down for like a month too. For like a month, I'd be like, oh boy.
Man, that was a long ride home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've definitely blown it pretty.
I went up against an R&B singer who was like
good.
And it wasn't just comics. There was like another comedian that was like very iffy, an R&B singer who I think moved on. I think a couple rappers.
Going up first, it would be tough too, because they're not. I mean.
Yeah, you don't even know you're going up against R&B singers. You can't even shit on the last dude. Yeah, you can't be like, oh, we got R&B. You can't even like say something to get into it. What,
I don't know what the R&B would be. But you'd have to shit on the dude before or something to try to get made that on your side right away. That's what I would do.
We're just theorizing different attack plans.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you got to do. You got to come out swinging. It is a battle royale. So, before we get out of here, I always ask this question. 5 years from now, best case scenario, what would your life look like on the day-to-day?
Best case scenario, because I was going to shoot for like the middle again. I'm just saying, like, be pretty sweet to have like a writing gig somewhere, and then being able to like... and maybe in your off time from that, whenever you're not working on that, to be out around touring as a
nice.
Headliner.
Yeah.
Hopefully, but just to be able to do it at all.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. Maybe get a couple recordings under my belt.
Heck yeah! I think you got the talent, my friend. Do you want to give everybody out there a place where they can find you on the interwebs?
No.
Okay, well, you don't have to. It's not a thing you have to. It's just a suggestion.
The Twitter. Twitter's fine. If you want to Facebook friend me, you can probably find me. Just look up Matt Wayman, because you're already probably friends with
Ron Bronson or
Ron Bronson.
Ben Bronson.
At Benjamin Jensen. You take Benjamin Johnson, and then you switch the E from the Benjamin, and then the O from the Johnson.
Yeah.
You get Benjamin Johnson.
Thank you, whoever took Ben Johnson before he could get to it. So,
yeah. That's a very common name.
It's a good name. People, check him out. St. Louis comedy shows. If you're out and about, look for him there. Support us on the interwebs, on Twitter at Words with Wayman, Facebook Words with Wayman. Thank you all so much for listening, and we will see you all soon.
I'll set fire to the soul of sin.